Hi, and welcome to this edition of Career Gyan, a series where I talk about various careers that a student will look at or consider after a B school, after completing a program in management. And in today's lecture, in today's session, I'm going to discuss investment banking. One of the most sort of promising careers in finance, something that everybody in a B school looks at very favorably. Before we go ahead into today's session, my name is Anand Venkatesan. I am an IIM Bangalore graduate. I've done my engineering before that, and I've worked for about 4 or 5 years in the industry, but have about a decade's worth of experience in education and training students for aptitude entrances. Right. You can join us on social media. Obviously, you guys are watching this on YouTube, but if you haven't subscribed to our channel, that's CAT4MBA. Do so right away. There's tons of exciting content coming your way on a week-to-week basis. Do follow us on Telegram to keep yourself updated with what kind of content and lectures are happening. Okay, on that note, let's get into investment banking, right? Everybody knows about investment banking. It's one of the most lucrative, one of the most sort of high profile careers out of a B school. The top salaries that you talk about are typically the ones that investment bankers, receive from a campus. So, what exactly is investment banking? Well, investment banking is quite vast. In fact, most investment banking firms have multiple divisions, within their organization. But if you want to understand it at a basic level, I think you need to know that an investment banking firm does primarily two kinds of, work. One is raising capital. This could be in the form of debt or equity, and this could be for individuals or for institutional investors. In fact, there's a lot more to this than can be said in this short session. But know that for equities, for example, there is the buy side, there is the sell side, which means if you're into investment banking, then you could either be buying securities on behalf of your clients, and the allied tasks that you would need to perform for that is what you would be involving yourself in. But if you're on the sell side, then what you're probably doing is acting as a trading firm, right? Working with a trading firm and engaging with creation of securities and selling those securities to institutions and individuals. So there's the buy side, there's the sell side as far as equity goes. But most of the time, when you're talking about raising capital, then you're talking about firms like mutual funds, hedge funds, etc., etc., like large institutions which will handle the capital needs of individuals and institutions, right? That's one of the main roles that an investment banking firm does, help firms raise capital. In fact, one other aspect that that I will touch upon here is IPOs, right? Everybody knows about the initial public offering. So when a company goes for an IPO, then typically one of the main institutions that help a company deliver an IPO is an investment banking firm, which would essentially take care of all the legalities, all the due diligences needed, and also all the calculations involved therein, in terms of how many shares should be allocated to the public, what should be the face value, what should be the market value, what should be the modus of issual of shares, etc., and etc. At the other end, though, is the other kind of tasks that investment banking firms perform, which is to bring entities together. It could be the form of two companies, two entities merging, or maybe one company acquiring another company, maybe even a joint venture. But all of these are routes by which a company or a conglomerate typically tends to grow, right? So essentially, in a nutshell, investment banking firms help companies grow, whether it's by raising capital for such growth, or by merging with other entities, or maybe acquiring other entities, or getting into a joint venture with other entities. But essentially, these are activities that an iBank does, right? So I hope that you guys understand an investment banking firm a little better, and what kind of work it does a little better than before. Well, most of you would have heard the big names in investment banking. Most of the time, when you get hired from a campus, you're working in some of the best cities, most expensive cities, most glamorous cities across the world. This includes London or New York, or Tokyo, but increasingly a lot of these firms, when they hire candidates from India, tend to look at opportunities based out of Southeast Asia. So you're probably looking at Singapore or Thailand or Malaysia as popular destinations in today's day and age. But rest assured, I think what you are assured of is a very, very strong banking name behind you. Everybody has heard of Deutsche Bank or Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. So these are all household names in the world of banking and financial markets. So employability and the kind of brand that you get is extremely sort of prestigious. But before obviously, a career in finance is something that everybody aims at, but let's also understand what exactly goes into making a career in finance and what are the different stages of your career there, especially in an investment banking firm. So usually the lowest rung in an investment banking firm is occupied by the financial analyst. Typically, these are candidates who would analyze the financial statements of a company, of not just the financial statements, in fact also the stock market indices, or essentially do a market analysis, market and industry analysis of the firm or the industry in which the firm belongs, right? What does it take to become an investment banking analyst or a financial analyst? Well, you need to be able to analyze financial statements through and through, which means very, very good at ratios, understanding ratios and also interpreting them, but also being able to choose which ratios apply to which industry and which sector. Number two, you also need to be able to analyze trends within an industry, because that's what it's all about, right? You're trying to pick up firms within an industry that are probably doing better than the rest. So you need to be able to analyze industries or sectors as a whole, but also keep a finger or keep a pulse of the industry. So that's something that a financial analyst does. And obviously number crunching and using Excel and all these analytical tools will be critical to the role of a financial analyst. Remember, it's critical, and there are plenty of learnings that come your way, especially in the first 3-4 years. Most of the times when you join an investment banking firm, the first 2 to 3 years at the very least will go into you playing the role of a financial analyst. And as you do more and more analysis, as you study industries, sectors and firms again and again, I think you develop this instinct of being able to analyze and develop insights about industries and sectors, if not companies. Okay, next stage in the career of an investment banker would be that of an associate, which then leads on to a vice president. Well, at the middle rung stage, you'd probably get in maybe about 3 to 4 years later after joining an investment banking firm. But here's where you will have, by the time you become an associate or a VP, you probably are an expert in one or two industries, right? So which means that you consider a few sectors or industries or company types as your domain, as your expertise, and those sectors or fields inside out. And having engaged with multiple clients in those sectors, you probably are also an expert in what kind of numbers, what kind of ratios, what kind of stock analysis will yield the best results. But then you need to go a step further, right? Now at this stage, I think you realize that you are looking at top management roles. The role of a managing director in a iBank is something that you would be vying for. So interacting with clients becomes sort of crucial here, because while at the initial stage you would merely be crunching numbers or analyzing data or putting them on decks and Excel sheets, as a associate you would obviously get into a role where you are getting the work done. You're delegating a lot of this work to analysts who work in your team, who work on your desk. But more importantly, you will communicate these with the clients. You will be coordinating with the clients on a, daily, on a week to week basis, if not daily. But the idea is to keep them involved, is to keep the pulse, keep track of their pulse, and make sure that your numbers and your analysis is in sync with their needs. So that's an associate. Obviously, by the time you reach an associate level or a president level at a investment banking firm, you're already raking in the big bucks. You're already, earning those huge bonuses. Remember, investment banking firms are notorious to give you high salaries, but give you even more attractive bonuses at the end of each year. Obviously, bonuses are linked to market performance, and hence, probably in the last 2-3 years, maybe bonuses are not going to be as healthy. But the reality is that whenever stock markets go through a bull run, investment banking firms and employees therein rake in the big bucks. And last but not the least, the pinnacle of where you can reach in an iBanking firm is the position of a managing director. Remember, all these Wall Street movies where the corner office is the coveted prize. Well, as an MD, you really have the choice of picking the office that you want to, the view that you want to. Well, what does an MD do? Well, pretty much everything that you've learned at the lower levels, but I think at the stage of an MD, you're directly responsible for the firm's revenues, which means that you would have target in terms of revenues. You would be prospecting clients on almost a daily basis. You speaking to them, coordinating with them, maybe pitching ideas, maybe trying to gauge their interest levels, trying to tailor the kind of products and services that you offer. But all the time, the aim is to nurture the firm's business and grow it by getting in newer clients, and that's what an MD does. Obviously, by the time you reach an MD, you're not just an expert on a sector, but you're considered an authority on that. You don't really, your experience over the last your decade or so would mean that any news about whether it's about the sector, the industry, or even a particular firm, any news that comes out, you would be immediately able to you will be able to judge the kind of ripple effect it would have on the markets. So that's the level of expertise that an MD brings to the table. Obviously, once you reach this position, you have enough money saved up, you have enough contacts and networks to eventually also become director on other firms, and also have sizable holdings in upcoming sectors and upcoming startups. So that those are other perks that come your way. But really, and this is really one of the most coveted positions on Wall Street. Well, I hope that you found this quick sort of lecture on investment banking interesting. Do keep learning. On Plus, the Unacademy Plus subscription gives you plenty. It gives you learnings. You can learn from home. You can take tests. You can get on the leaderboard. Much more on offer. Well, all you need to do is subscribe. So make sure that you do that. Download the app and click on CAT as your goal. And very soon you will need to choose a plan. Do choose the longer term plans and make sure that you use my referral code AV01, because that gives you a 10% discount straight away, right? Remember, it's not just CAT that we are experts at. There are a host of exams, which are available on the app. Make sure that you check it out and spread the word. For starters, all I want to leave you with is the fact that when you learn on Unacademy, there is the facility of learning by way of special classes, right? Special classes which are free of cost, that me and many of my fellow educators conduct. So do make sure that you check it out. Do like, share, and subscribe. Do like and share this video. Do let me know in the comments if you found this interesting. If you need more information, do let me know. Do hit the subscribe button and follow us on Telegram. Well, that's my time. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.